What's going on, YouTube? It is Swift here again. Back on my guide tip. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be making videos about how to play certain characters. I am waiting for Takeda to come out. I cannot wait. I'm gonna have videos going on that so quick. I can't wait till he drops. But today we're going to go over Mei. Mei is actually one of my favorite characters in the game. He's the most fun to me. I'm a Reiko main, but Mei is much more fun than Reiko. I gotta admit. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the basic stuff in this video only, okay? The basic things, normals, strings, specials, how you should play her is what I'm going to be talking about today in this video. Later on, I will be making guides on which cameos you should be using, the combos you should be doing, and the game plan with those cameos. So this is basically going to be a full guide on how to basically level up your Mei, and then you'll be beating people in the combat league and knows how to game plan for Mei. She's not your typical super rush down, mix up or rush, open you up type character, okay? She's more of a control style, she controls the pace of the match. That's pretty much her. She doesn't have like amazing overhead lows or whatever, she has decent pressure, she has some plus frames on her normals, which we'll go over here in a minute. But her typical game plan is to get this lantern out here. Okay, this lantern can do a lot. It's a lot more than what people think. It's more than just, using it in a combo. It does a lot more than that. That lantern, you cannot jump if that lantern is on the screen. If characters have normals that leave the ground, like for example, Smoke's overhead, his forward 2, he jumps up. That lantern is going to hit him. So you could use that lantern in that situation to stop him from doing something like that. So this is what I mean by she controls the pace of the match. You know what I'm saying? Even other characters like Nataria, Mei does very well against Nataria. Because if she gets the lantern out, most of Natara's offense comes from her flight. It comes from a core mechanic that she has, and she can't do that versus Mei. A lot of normals she had or combo strings that she does have, they leave the ground. So she can't do a lot versus Mei, but play the ground game. So that's Mei. I think she's very easy to pick up. Very simple to pick up. But once you get to a higher level with her, she becomes very difficult and harder to play. Because people know how to play Mei. They try to, take advantage of her weaknesses, which we'll go over. You can still outplay someone as Mei. I don't think it's that difficult to outplay someone, but it's a lot harder than playing your typical Johnny, Peacemaker, Tanya, things like that. So first thing, normals. Shorter normals than most characters. This is her standing 1, doesn't go that far. She has a standing 2, there's 9 frames, goes a little bit further. Yeah, that'll hit. It goes a little bit further, has a decent sized hitbox on it. It doesn't hit where 1-2 would hit, but it's pretty good, not that bad. Another one, of course, you have stand 4. Once again, not that long range, not that much range on it, but it's a 10 frame high, and it goes into one of her best strings that she has, which is this right here, and we'll go over that string later. Of course, you have her normal pokes, her 7 frame pokes. She has a good down 3, I think. In my opinion, it's pretty good. 9 frames. A good down 4 too. I think that's also pretty good. Once again, not a lot of range, and that's probably going to be your bigger struggle with Mei is her range. But trust me, you stick with it, you'll get past it. Her other normals, back 2. That's a decent range, man. This actually has a decent range on it. It's still not long range like most other character strings. This is probably the range of like Johnny's 4-3 or something like that. It's not that big. It's not that much, but it does hit from a decent range. And if you look at where it's hitting, her hands aren't really touching her. So you can see this would be a good button for a whiff punish. So that's pretty great. Stand 3 is probably her most useless normal. In the corner, you can do stand 3 lantern. It may combo depending on the size of the hitbox of the character. But it's a solid, it's an okay anti-air, but it's hard to combo off of because you need to either put out lantern or call an assist. Of course, she has her generic sweep. And her sweep isn't like other people's sweep. Like other characters' sweeps are plus on block. Hers is just neutral, which I don't get. But you know what? I think one of her top normals also is back 3. Back 3 is a 17 frame mid It has decent range on it, nothing crazy. You know, it's just that's what it is. It's +3 on block, which is very good. And you can start your pressure with it. Now, it also goes into a full string like this for back 3/4. That string itself is +7. But once again, we'll get into that later. So this string is actually really good for staggers, and you'll do like a down 1, and her down 1 is +12 on hit. So this is coming out. This would be something good to use after you land a poke or something like that. You could do down 4, it'll still reach it after you hit down 4. Down 4 has much more hit advantage than your normal down 1. And that's pretty simple. So that's 15 frames of hit advantage there. So down 4, back 3 is like kind of a typical way to make them block. So that's a good way to start your pressure there. So I would say use back 3. I use back 3 a lot. I love back 3. It's a great button. If you have the right cameo with you, comboing off this, you can combo that, and that's really good for a whiff punish too. Now, Lee strings, almost all of them have a gap. It's unfortunate. So strings that have a gap is 1, 2, 4. The last hit has a gap. That's a huge gap in that string. That you could poke out of that. You can press a button out of that, and you're going to get hit. This has a gap. 214 has a gap. Is pretty much a big size gap like back 3/4. Only string that doesn't have a gap, and it recently buffed this string, is 4-3-1-2. It's kind of a dial-in string. That string has no gaps, which is very good. So that's a good string there. It's all safe too. This itself is +3 on block. So you can do this, which is a high mid string. You can stagger that like this because they think the next hit is coming. So you can do on the third hit. After the third hit is special cancelable. So you can do this, or you can let the string rock like this. So that's pretty much what I think that's her best string right now. The string. Oh, I forgot to go over one normal. It's her forward 4. So since we're talking about strings now, we'll talk about the forward 4 string. So forward 4 string, it has 2 options. You have forward 4-4, which is a hard knockdown. Is very advantageous on block. I mean on hit, very advantageous. So you can get a lot of things coming from that. If you do forward 4-4, you get a free lantern. That's +56 on hit if you hit that. So you do forward 4-4. Come on now. That's a free lantern. Nobody is punishing that. Even in the corner, nobody is going to punish that. That's a free lantern that you can let off. And I would say do it every time. You have no reason to not let that lantern go. No reason at all. Other string is 4-4-3. Now this is the launcher. Very, very unsafe on block at -20. -20. That's very punishable. You don't want to be in that situation. But it's a launcher at the same time. So if you get a punish, this is a 16 frame startup right here. It's on a slower end, but it has solid range on it. It hits from farther back than what people think. It'll hit from here. So it hits from farther back than what people think. So you can hit something from here and confirm it to it. It's a Nova Blast, which once again, I'll go over that later. And then you can get a combo started like that. So this string is really good. It lands, it goes in some good damage here. 35% that you just got off that string, so that's actually pretty good. Another string I did want to go over, and I wanted you. This is probably her best string. 1-2 is probably her best string. It's +2 on block. It goes a very solid range on the second hit. I'll kind of put it in the corner. You can really harass somebody with this string. So let's say they're blocking and you're +2 on block once again. Let's say your opponent's blocking and it doesn't move you back. Normally moves in this game, they move you back. They just it has pushback after the block string. Some of these, it just has pushback. So you can't keep doing it. So like you can just harass somebody with this in the corner. I'm not going nowhere, I'm +2. It is a 7 frame startup. So this is +2 on block. And that move is coming out at 7 frames. It is now coming out at 5 frames because you have 2 extra frames of advantage right here. So they either have to do a down poke, or they have to just hold that. They have to hold this. They have to poke out of this. If I keep staggering this, they're going to have to poke, and they also have to guess this as well. So if they're going to poke, they have to do it, you know. And that's kind of like the game plan with Mei, that she wants you to do a down poke, and I'll go over that with her special moves. So 1, 2, very good right here. Even standing 1 itself is actually very good at 7 frames as well, and this is +2 on block as well. So that's pretty much it for her strings. She has more strings, but like a lot of them aren't really that great, because a lot of strings are just like you stagger with some of these strings, and I've already gone over a few of them. Like back 3, 4 I went over, 4-3. I'll go over this as well. 4-3 is her overhead. Okay, that's actually is very good. It's safe on block. In another video, I'll go over her 4-3 and get in depth with it a lot more. But this is an overhead string. With the right cameo, you can actually combo off that overhead too, anywhere on the string, especially the corner. That's going to be really good. So it's safe on block. You can really use this to kind of just throw somebody off. It's neutral, so it's, you know, it resets everything. So it's actually a pretty good string. Specials. We're gonna go over Mei specials. She has some really good special moves, if you ask me. They're pretty good. They all have a great use. It's not just special moves that are absolutely useless. We already went over Sky Lantern and her down back 2. We talked about how important that is. Another her special is back forward 4. Back forward 4 is a almost half screen mid. It's 14 frames, so that's on the faster side. It goes pretty far. You know, you can just snipe somebody with this, and you can call out your cameo, and then you can get a combo from that. So that's actually very good. Nova Blast, of course, is her zoning tool. At 19 frames, pretty good. If you burn meter on it, it's going to launch you for a combo. So her Nova Blast is going to be pretty much the main way you're going to have a combo starting here. So that's pretty much going to be the main part of her offense. So it's pretty good. One thing I will mention here, you can blow up the lantern with Nova Blast, and if they're in the right spot or they're in the area of the blast, they get launched. So that's something that's going to be good too. If you're not that great with doing instant areas like that, no problem. You don't have to be necessarily with Mei, because she can do 4-3 and cancel the Nova Blast like that. That's pretty much the lowest point that you're going to get with her, like that. So you can do this. So you can play somebody like this. You know, you're in neutral, and then you flip up and you can blow the lantern up like that. So that's actually pretty good. Another special is her air down back 4. That's a flip kick. It's an overhead. It's 2 hits. It's actually very good. It changes her jump arc. It's kind of like a dive kick. And you know, dive kicks normally are very good because it changes the trajectory of your jump. So people may want to anti-air you, and you'd be like, oh, nope. You gotta guess the special out of that. So the reason why this is so good is because if you burn meter, it is actually safe on block. It has a flawless block gap, which will make it punchable. But it's -6. You can't interrupt it. You have to flawless block it to make that punchable. The normal one is unsafe as hell. It's -15. I'm sorry, I got bad at say, but it's -14. So this can be blown up by a lot of characters, and you're right in front of them. One important thing to do with this normal here is learn how to instant air like that. Learn how to do this, because it makes it harder to see, and you can use this in a lot of setups. So you can launch somebody just by doing this. So I would say practice your anti-airs, you know, get really good with them. And I mean, she has to barely be off the ground like I've just been doing right here. So learn that. It's actually going to be very important that you do that, because her combo starters with that in a corner are going to be insane with certain cameos. So this is just the basics, as I said before. Nothing too much. This is just to kind of get you to understand the game plan with Mei. Ooh, I almost forgot. One of her most important specials is down back 3. Down back 3 is it has 2 properties. It's in 11 frames if you do not burn meter, and it is 7 frames if you do have meter. Now, what does this mean? Swift. if most characters in this game, they have a down poke, meaning their down one is about -8, some -9. So if somebody pokes you and you block it, Lee Mei can punish with that and get an insane amount of damage from it. So she can do something like this, and it just gets a lot of damage. Look at that, 35% just because you decided to poke. So I can't believe I almost forgot that. That's like one of my favorite normals that she has. But this is pretty much it for the video. I'm going over the basics once again. That's all I'm doing. Just kind of get you an idea of how to play the character. I will be doing combo videos. I will be doing cameo videos, and I'm going to include combos with that cameo video. I'm going to explain each cameo that she's very good with and the gameplay with that cameo. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will be coming out with more. Also, be ready for my how to play fighting games guide too. This is just to teach anybody who does not know how to play fighting games, they don't have an idea of where to start. I'm gonna help you with that. And that's pretty much where it's gonna start. Peace.